Hi, everybody. In times such as this, when we're really all overwhelmed and concerned about so many areas of life, it sometimes feels like we're powerless or helpless to actually contribute. And so Brad and I made a list of opportunities or invitations that we are aware of. There might be some ways that you can contribute or participate, but I'd like to go through a few of those now with you in case there's something kind of touches your heart, or you can find a way that you can be part of the solution and spreading some light in the world. The first is that there's a Facebook group that you might have heard of called Help for Healthcare Workers Delaware. And it's for people who are sewing face masks. These of course aren't hospital grade, but many people on the front lines, like in nursing homes and other medical professionals who are not doing surgery or emergency room work, are needing these face masks. So folks who have a sewing machine are sewing them. Just go ahead and look on the Facebook group if you are interested in pursuing this. It's a wonderful opportunity, and they're doing great work. I think they've already delivered 2,000 masks. They've only been up and running for maybe 9 days. So it's a beautiful ministry and outreach to people who are in need. The second is Emmanuel Dining Room. You see I'm rocking my Emmanuel Dining Room look today. Brad and I had heard that there was a need for servers today, and that's just in the kitchen. What we heard was that a lot of different organizations who normally provide meals either are, not able to go, or their folks are concerned and cautious about going. And so we volunteered that we would go today on your behalf. And today we served 265 people. There is a great need. What we did then was leave our name and phone numbers with them. So in case they have a need again, they can feel free to call. If this is something that you are interested in or really hoping to do, you could maybe send Brad or me an email, and we'll just kind of collect your information. This is not anything that anybody has to do or must do. We certainly want everybody to feel really comfortable and confident whenever they're contributing in whatever way in these weeks and months of need. Today we were just in the kitchen. Don't go out in the dining room. In fact, all of their service is to go, so that's on the other side of the big room. They just serve them at the doorway, so it felt very safe. And I wore a mask, but I felt completely comfortable and safe. So if that's something that interests you or a way that you'd like to contribute, just send an email so that we can know that and be in contact about that as a volunteer opportunity. The next is, you probably have heard that the Blood Bank of Delaware is experiencing a lot of need. And so if donating blood is something you're able to do, please consider doing that. I spoke to the woman at the blood bank, and the phone number is 888-825-6638, and they'll go through a screening process with you on the phone. But if that's something that you have done in the past or something you'd like to consider doing, you can certainly call. It's a very tangible way to reach out to those who are in need. Another, a little bit less involved way, but certainly very needed in this time, is to make a donation to the Claymont Food Closet of canned goods or dried goods, what they call shelf-stable items that are needed in their food closet. Both Claymont Food Closet as well as the Food Bank of Delaware are experiencing a lot of requests for food. It's a very precarious time for a lot of people who have lost their employment or who are now underemployed or having a tremendous income challenge. So we've decided that we're going to put a big bin out, at the front door of the church, where the circle is, where you can drive around and enter the church building. There are 2 benches there on that porch. And so we'll put out some bins, and we'll invite you, if you're out doing your own grocery shopping, if there's anything that you are already out for, you are welcome to swing by and drop off canned goods. That might be canned meat like tuna or chicken, or pasta, dried pasta, or sauce, or cereal, or peanut butter is a good thing for families, jelly. Oh, also in this time, they need things like soap And if you overstocked in your toilet paper and you don't mind sharing some packages, they would certainly take that. Tissues and, oh, did I say macaroni and cheese or dried rice, rice packages. Those are very popular. Oh, dried beans, different things. Kind of the standards that we're always offering to the food closets. If you have, if you stocked up very well and you want to share them, they did mention that low sodium is really helpful, or low sugar items are really helpful. But anything that you can contribute, we will make sure that it gets to the Claymont Food Closet. I wanted to mention also that this Sunday is shockingly Palm Sunday. And even though we won't be able to celebrate it together, every year we receive palms, and then they're there for people to pick up on Sunday when we're sharing in Palm Sunday worship together. We can't worship together this Sunday, but whenever they arrive, we'll make sure that they go out into a bin on that porch. And so if you're out to the grocery store, going to an appointment or whatever you need to do, and you're already out and you want to pick up your palms, please feel free to do that. And as well, you can then donate to the Claymont Food Closet or some other organizations that are in need. And then again, I'm trying to make a list of things from very involved, hands-on, to a little bit less demanding. And so the next one is maybe just acts of kindness. And that might be to those who are maybe more vulnerable or more isolated. It might be neighbors who you know already, you're concerned about, or people, your church family, those who are elderly or who are shut-ins might really appreciate you reaching out to others and expressing your concern and encouragement. Phone call to someone who might be shut in, I think, would be a very meaningful time. But also to your neighbors, because we're trying to come together in this time and be there for each other. So acts of kindness are a wonderful thing. And finally, not the least, that's for sure, is to make sure to pray for each other, to continue to keep each other in prayer. For healthcare workers, they are on the front lines of this crisis, and they will be for some time. So to pray for them and for their families, for the first responders, for the police and firefighters and the EMTs, who are just seeing such an increase in volume of need and such a terrible burden of concern for others. Make sure to pray for our leaders. They need wisdom and they need courage to make important decisions, and they need our prayers. Each state leaders too, they're being pressured with a lot of important decisions state by state. And there are many who are grieving, so please make sure to pray for God's grace, that they would feel surrounded and supported and encouraged in this really heavy and distressing time. And also pray for those who are experiencing the financial impact of this, so that they would feel surrounded and supported by God's presence and by our love for them. So that's all for today. Just hoping that if you are feeling shut in and shut down, as so many of us are, that you might be able to find one way to reach out in compassion to our brothers and sisters across the globe. So peace to you. Take care.